Hello, I'm going to be building upon the topic I discussed last week, which is how to reduce hospital operating costs within facilities management utilizing in-house staffing. Data shows that in U.S. healthcare costs have risen from $2 trillion in 2006 to $3 trillion in 2014. One-third of these U.S. healthcare costs involved hospital operating costs, and one-third of these operating costs involved facilities management. So hospital management is constantly looking to reduce operating costs to free up funds for new technology and new equipment for better patient care. I'm going to break things down a little bit further and explain facilities. When it comes to work done within the hospital on equipment, it's broke down into two departments. One is engineering, and that involves repairing any plumbing, electrical, things of that nature. The other department is clinical engineering, which involves the repair of equipment that comes into direct contact with patients. I work in clinical engineering. Within the department, the technicians are called biomedical equipment technicians, or biomed for short. One way to greatly reduce these operating costs is to analyze contracts. You can do this by eliminating or adjusting contracts if you see need to reduce. There are two types of work involved in clinical engineering. One is corrective maintenance, which is any equipment that breaks down, repairs done to this. And the other is preventative maintenance, which is an annual maintenance that verifies that equipment is up to the original equipment manufacturer specifications. In-house staff are greatly utilized because they can keep an accurate inventory of equipment, as well as keep device status and device history for every piece of equipment. Hospital management can then use this device history to decide whether a contract is needed or not. An example of this would be if a hospital buys a new CT scanner, the device history data may show that the old CT scanner doesn't see the use that it used to. This may justify adjusting the contract or even eliminating the contract. Another great way to reduce operating costs is training in-house employees. This is done by the hospital paying for an employee to go to a specialized training for a specific piece of equipment. Now, hospital management may be worried that an employee may take this new training or these new skills and go find a job elsewhere. This can be rectified by the hospital having the employee sign a no-compete clause. This just states that the employee will not look for employment elsewhere for X amount of years after they receive this specialized training. I'm going to talk a little bit about a personal experience I have. My hospital sent me to a specialized training. It cost around $4,000 to $5,000, and it's for a piece of equipment that sterilizes gastrointestinal scopes after they've been used. I have 11 of these units within the hospital, and annually they are required a preventative maintenance to verify calibration and rebuild certain aspects of each piece of the equipment. If the vendor's called out to perform this maintenance, it's around $1,000 per unit, so that's roughly $11,000 per year. Now, if I'm able to perform this myself, which I can because of my specialized training, I'm able to do this without calling the vendor out, which essentially saves the hospital around $11,000 a year. So that's just for one type of piece of equipment. If you do this for many types of equipment, you're saving the hospital thousands and thousands of dollars a year. These are two great ways of reducing operating costs in a hospital that will free up funds for new equipment and future technologies to further patient care. Thank you.